and found out that we were still working and said they wanted us out of there immediately. That's when they decided to go ahead and just let us work from home. And people had to come back up to the office, get their equipment, everything like that. But the fact is, when you know there's something out there and you don't have any control over it, it can just paralyze you. Fear paralyzes. I don't care what anybody says. It will paralyze you to a point where you're like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? What am I going to do? Because I got to go to work. I can't call out, because they're going to know, okay, they just calling out just because. But the thing is, hey, through adversity, I made it through. And so now we've been working from home since April 2nd. And they said that they have no idea when we may come back to the office. It's like right now, they know we can work from home, so they just going to let us stay.
Okay, so Bridgette, when you was having all those feelings, how did you deal with it? Where did you kind of lean on?
When I tell you I had to sing, I had to pray. A lot of times I would just pull up something funny, like a comedian, like Ricky Smiley or something. Just pull up something funny so I could laugh to try to take my mind off of what was really happening. And that's how I got through. Because one day I was watching the news, and I sat here, and I got in such a panic. I feel like I couldn't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Then I start coughing. Then I'm thinking, oh, Lord, I got COVID-19. What am I going to do? So then I called my son, Trayvon, in the room. He said, Mama, he said, you just having a panic attack. He said, just calm down. He said, do you need me to hold your hand? I said, please. My child, my 24-year-old son came and held my hand and prayed. I said, oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus. I said, thank you, Trayvon. I said, because he said, Mama, you got to calm down. He said, because if I call 911, they can't do nothing for you for a panic attack. You just got to breathe.
Yeah.
And so I started, I can't watch the news like that. I watch it for a little while, then I turn to something else. Because sitting there, keep watching that and watching all these deaths, they're not saying anything about the people that have overcame it. All they're talking about is death. And I can't even imagine how the people that are working, in the healthcare field, because they're seeing this every day. I'm just on the outside. I'm nowhere near it. So my heart goes out to those people that have to go in every day and see this, then have to try to come home for fear that they may infect their families.
Exactly.
Yes. That's the hard part. Yeah.
So shout out to all the
That's how I dealt with it.
It's on the front line. That's awesome. Good shout out to Trayvon. Good looking out, Trayvon.
He always say, Mama, you taught me how to pray, so you got to pray.
You got to pray. Exactly. Okay, go Genonne. Thank you, Bridgette.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess mine's gonna be a little different from Miss Bridgette. I guess I've been dealing with anxiety for I want to say in and out maybe some years, and I really didn't know that it was anxiety. I just would get a feeling of, breathing really fast, my chest beating really fast. I would be thinking at first I was going to run into the doctor thinking I was having heart attacks. And I was just like, okay, they put me on the EKG machine, and then they would say, okay, you got acid reflux or whatever like that. But I started noticing, like, sometimes, I teach pre-K. When I get ready to perform with my kids in front of parents, I get this total, it's like you can't control it. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels so uncomfortable. And until the moment passes to when you can actually like breathe. And, I was, I feel like, there are different levels of anxiety, and they're different kinds. I can say like, I'll give you an answer. Like last week, I actually was like maybe last Friday, I had to end up going to the doctor. I've been having chest pains for weeks, and I had to go, and I feel like anxiety is hooked up with some kind of fear, negativity, something bad, always like it's unknown. And my mind, for some reason, always goes to the most severe thing that actually could be. So I went in and I wanted to know, you know, they did an EKG machine, they took blood, x-rays and all this stuff right here. So she came back and she told me, she's like, yeah, your heartbeat is abnormal. And she was talking about the size of it. And I was like, I don't understand. So immediately when I got out of the Kaiser, I started crying and I called my niece and I was like, I don't want to be put on a heart transplant. You know, I don't want to, you know, I started going to the most negative thing. And my niece was like, she had to check me. And then she was like, why does your mind always go to the most negative thing? She said, you know, positive thinking is positive manifestation. And immediately I got in the car and I took a deep breath and I exhaled. And I said, Lord, I trust you. I said, I will not worry about this because it's bigger than me. I can't handle it. I can't control it. It's something that I'm going to lay on you because I can't handle this. And so it was Mother's Day weekend. And I said, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my Mother's Day weekend. And then I was going on the heart cardiovascular specialist was supposed to call me Monday. And so I said, I'm just going to wait and find out what happens on Monday. And, you know, I was just, you know, I told, you know, my mom, don't tell my sister or whatever like this. This is something I want to keep myself. I don't want to bother people about it, you know. So I just, you know, I just talked to God. I said, you know, I know that you are who you are. And this is when my faith is going to be put to the test because I'm going to leave it to you, God. I'm going to let you take care of it because I just can't. So, you know, it's crazy because, you know, we laugh about the plans that we think we have, you know what God laughs at them because, you know, it was, I got my call Monday and I was waiting on it. And, you know, it was crazy because when he got on my blood work, he told me, he said, you know, I don't see any case of heart attack. I don't see any case of you having low blood count. Your cholesterol is good. He said, no thyroid, you know, and I was just like, I said, look at this. I said, I have got myself and my body worked up because I went through the negative thing because, you know, and the thing about it was I just can't anymore. And I'm just tired. And it feels so good for me to be able to just let things go and let God take care of it. Because I know he says, you know, let tomorrow take care of itself. And I did it. And I felt much better. You know what I'm saying? I get nervous when I speak or whatever like that. And then I feel like too, that's also an enemy attacking me. Because maybe I'm supposed to say something to get to somebody or accomplish some type of goal that God has for me. But, you know, I just feel better now that I know that I can just give it all to him and don't have to worry about it.
Okay. So with your support system, I mean, and then with anxiety, it not only affect us, you know, the people that's actually having it, like you say, Trayvon had to come in and kind of help you to kind of talk you down. Hey, Vanessa, you bad?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. It's technology. We all trying to figure it out, so it's okay.
Okay, I had to get Marquell up here. I don't know what's going on.
I was going to say, yeah, I know he knows.
Right.
Okay, so Genonne just finished sharing her experience with anxiety and panic attacks. I want you to share yours as well.
Okay, we focusing on the pandemic, right?
No, on life.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Well, in actuality, Miss Janice, I just actually realized that I do have an issue with anxiety. I didn't when you let me know about, you know, what you were doing today and the talking you invited me on. I'm like, okay, so I just started doing a little reading and research because I never really realized. I'm like, oh my God, those are panic attacks I be having. So I'm like, yeah, okay, so now it's making me just further look into it. But it's like, because I wear many hats and I accept a lot of my responsibility. That I don't always have to, but it's just me. It's just I'm a giving person and I just like to be helpful, and it's what I do. But it's like when I thought about it, it's just at points and times I'm just like, when it gets down to crunch time and it's time for the show to go on or whatever I'm doing to happen, I start getting real antsy, and it's like I'm sweaty, and I'm like, my mind is going everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God, this has to be like this, this has to be like this. And I'm thinking this whole time I got a control issue.
Yeah.
I'm having a panic attack. I'm like,
Right.
what's going on?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I drive everybody around me crazy, and I just be hollering, and I'm like, Lord. And then when the calm comes down, I'm like, Jesus, I got to figure out a way to, fix this. This can't happen again. But it's like a rotating wheel. I'm like, it's just how it is. So I had accepted it. But now, since you brought light to my situation, I actually know what it is, and that's crazy. I said, look at God. Come on now, Jesus, help me. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
So I'm actually just finding my issue right now. So that's I can go on and on. It happens a lot.
It does.
So now I'm gonna just start going in more depth with it to help myself, because I to just stop repeating those panic attacks that I'm having.
And that's that superwoman syndrome that we have, like we can do it. We can fix it all. We got this.
Right.
Everybody else, no, I got it. I fix it. I do it. And we stress ourselves out. And then we find ourselves, we fatigue. We, our mind racing like a mad monkey. And we just, we stressing out. We in panic mode. Now, my experience with panic mode was, my mom actually had them. And when she started having them, I'm thinking like, okay, this lady is flipping out. I'm like, what's going on? Why are you acting so crazy? And because she would run, like she would call me, you need to come home. You need to come home from work. You need to come home from work. I'm like, for what? What's wrong? Like, you sick? She said, no, you just need to come home. I don't feel right. And she was on her job one day, and she was like, I gotta leave this store. I can't stay here. And her panic attack, her anxiety would make her run. Like she had to leave.
That's how you feel. Yeah, you feel like that sometimes. Yeah.
And she would
you just want to take off running. Yeah.
Exactly. She would like, I feel like something getting ready to happen. She said, I just feel like something getting ready to happen. It's just like it was something in the pit of her stomach. She just didn't know what it was. It was just always. And she needed to be by somebody that she confided in. So that was always. So she was like, pay attention to what I'm going through. She was telling me, pay attention. She said, because I don't know what this is. So if you ever go through it, you'll know what to do. Come to find out, she suffered with panic attacks and anxiety. And only thing the doctor would tell her or tell me when we would call the ambulance, we was calling the ambulance literally every day, every 2 days.
Been there.
Because the fear was so intense. She was just so feared that something was going to happen. And the ambulance would say, just breathe. She needs to control her breathing. She needs to learn how to breathe. So I'm sitting there holding her hand and rubbing her back and giving them ice. I don't know where ice must got this magic power. They give you ice for everything. So I'm just giving ice and I'm like, breathe, mom, breathe. You got to breathe. But see, after those panic attacks and that anxiety, depression kicked in. So she was in a deep depression. And when it all came out, when I started putting this thing together, I'm like, okay, then I started doing like you. I started reading on it. I started asking questions. A lot of things people didn't talk about. Because, it wasn't just talked about like that. So when I put this thing together, thank you, Crystal said ice does work. Thank you, Crystal. So when I put it together and I was trying to put bits and pieces of her life together, I was like, okay, all right, she's getting older. She had lost her church. And I think that's what set it off. When my mom lost her church,
something tragic.
Big chunk. See, that was something traumatic that happened.
Trauma.
Yeah.
She didn't know how to deal with, So then she was, that was her faith. My mom was a preacher. My mom was a woman of God, strong woman of God. But her faith was being tested, and she was going through she went through so much with these panic attacks, and she would always tell me, watch me, learn from me, see what I'm going through, learn about what I'm going through, come to the doctor with me so you'll know how to deal with this when it happens to you. And it was just, she had to go through a depression class and all of that. So with this anxiety and these panic attacks, if we don't address that issue, then it can turn some mental illness, some depression. And So we got to bring it to the forefront. We got to let people know that, hey, you ain't the only one feeling like that. I feel like that, you know. And sometimes, like I said, it's the unknown, when you don't know the outcome, when you don't know what's going on. Like you were saying, Genonne, you could be ready to do something, and because you don't know how it's gonna end, you
tense up.
All right, you tense up, and it starts affecting your body. So now you got to worry about what's going on with your body and your mind, and it affects the people around us. For my mom, it was me, because I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, okay, come on, I need to know what's going on with you, because you're tripping. So how did you guys deal with it? Go ahead.
I want to say something. Do you find that sometimes, like, you internalize things and really you don't have a way to let it go, and that will bring on a panic attack? And the reason I say that is because I'm thinking of a situation now where I was at work one day and I was talking to a customer, and he was being so ugly. I mean, to the point where it got on my nerves so bad. I was about to pass out. I started shaking.
Yeah.
I started trembling. I started sweating, and I got scared. So I said, sir, hold on a second. And my manager wasn't there that day. And it just so happens that nobody else was there except for this other girl that sits on the end. And I said, Angela, come here. I said, I need your help. I said, I don't know what's happening to me. I said, I just feel like I'm just about to faint. She said, calm down. You're having a panic attack. And I said, what do you mean? What is that? She said, you just feel like you having an out-of-body experience. I mean, it's like you just don't know who you are. It's like you're delirious.
Yeah, it's real. I'm telling you.
And then that gets scary because it's like, okay, I'm delirious, like I don't know where I am. I'm having an out-of-body experience. Then you get more scared because you don't know what's going to happen to you from having an out-of-body experience. So it's like all this stuff just keeps piling up together.
It is. Well, you know, some people, it's so bad, and some people that they don't, like my sister suffered from them too, and she won't drive. Like whenever she's driving, it's like she just so fearful of something happening, so she choose not to drive. So it's a lot of people choose not to go out. Like they don't, if they're around a lot of people, they tense up, or they thinking something gonna happen. And I don't know, like.
Janice.
Go ahead, Genonne.
I wanted to say, you were talking about a support system. I think for women, it's very important that we discuss, you know, the things that bother us, to bring them to the forefront. Because when you don't discuss them, sometimes you feel like, I don't want to say an outsider, but you feel alone. When I did start talking to, you know, my church members, my Bible study group or whatever, I found out it was other, you know, ladies who felt the same way as me, you know, and being able to confide in them and to talk about it and know that you're not crazy, or that, you know, you're not the only one that this is happening to. Because my husband, and you know, I love him so much, and you know, it take a strong person to deal with me. And so I mean, he come right on in. He'll come right in. He said, he like, I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. I mean, this is like, I mean, I can remember being in an elevator with him one time, and it got so crazy. I said, I got to get off here now. And there was people in there. I said, I got to get off here now. And I had bent down, and I was scrunched down, and I was like, I got to get off of him now, off of here now. Yeah. And then he took me off, and we walked up the rest of the steps or whatever like that. But I mean, him just understanding and telling me to, you know, to breathe, and until you can actually breathe and you feel it and stuff like that, so you get that calmness on you. You know, I mean, it's a serious thing, because you actually almost, sometimes I have gasped for air. I actually have gasped for air. And like you said, that feeling like you got to run or whatever like that. I felt like whatever it is, I need you to move. I need you to move. I need, you know, right now, I need you to move or whatever like that, because you feel like that. You feel like that. And my support system is just great to know that there are other people going through what you're going through, you know, and my support, we're praying, and we, you know, we're thanking and praising so that we can actually, you know, get through this together, you know? And so, I mean, I think a support group is very important.
Yes, I agree.
So, yes. So tell me this, what do you guys feel about therapy? Because, you know, a lot of Black people won't do therapy. Like when it comes to panic attacks, Well, let's do this first before we talk about that. What are some things, like, we want to share this platform with other people, other women, queens that are going through this. What are some things that you have known that work for you to kind of like bring it down? Well, we know the breathing and the ice, and you don't want to be on the Xanax, because I know doctors will prescribe you with Xanax. They'll give you.
That's why I rebuke that demon. I refuse to take medication. I ain't gonna be able to do it. It ain't that bad. I ain't taking it. It ain't that bad. But they're gonna put me on a pill, because they did prescribe me. Because one time I did call the ambulance. It was like and I think with me being 55, I think I was going through menopause. Mm-hmm. And woke up in a night sweat and just panicked, because thinking something had happened to me, thinking that, you know, I'm sick. Why am I sweating profusely like this? And I got up, I drank some water, and I came back and laid down, and my chest, like it was just boom, 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 boom. I told my I said, call the ambulance. Mm-hmm. I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. Mm-hmm. And so the ambulance came, and they took me to the hospital, of course, and come to find out, I was severely dehydrated. Okay. So that's another thing that comes on too. When you're dehydrated, you get delirious. Oh, okay. And so I didn't realize what it was. So now I know I suffer from dehydration. So now I try to make sure I drink lots of water. But when I get to feeling like a certain way, now I know a lot of times I need to drink more water. So what helps me with anxiety, if I have a bottle of water with me on the elevator, I'm good. If I don't have no water or a cell phone, I can't get on the elevator. It's something about that bottle of water that I got to have that water in my hand. Okay. I would not ride an elevator without it. And that's because I got stuck in the elevator about 3 years ago. And I think that brought on that anxiety. That anxiety when you get into elevators. Yeah. So you have to overcome that fear again of elevators. Okay. Yep. What are some things that work for you?
Me or I didn't hear you. Who, me?
Yeah.
Or
what are some things that kind of help you bring it down?
Well, I would always run to get into the shower, and I would always bring my phone in there, and I would play praise music, and I would just, play it till I almost pretty much get weak. And I just be talking to God about what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, and I felt like, I guess it's kind of I felt like the shower is kind of like the negative energy is kind of like, going down, like I'm getting the water on me just to calm myself. I don't know what it is, but the water always seems to just calm me. Mm-hmm. Does that sound crazy?
Water. Yeah, no.
Does that sound crazy?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That water, it's something
I can understand
that water. Okay, mm-hmm. What about you, Vanessa?
Okay, again, this is a new discovery for me, but I mean, it's been happening and going on, and I just have to, because I go like from 0 to 1,000 really, really fast. So I have to get air. I have to get alone because my mind be racing so much. And I'm like, again, like, I didn't know when I read up on it this morning, it was saying that when you get into that mode, it's like flight or fight, so your body, fight, so your blood is redirected from your digestive system, to your muscle. You ready to go. So I have to get air. I have to get on. I'm like, just leave me alone, because I'm already like to the top of my lungs screaming, and my thoughts are not even in my head. Where they, and I can't do nothing but say Jesus. I can't. My thinking is not together. Nothing. I just have to get air, and I have to. I can't have anyone in my ear, and I just have to get by myself to decompress and get it all the way back together. And given, I'm like, I was dead wrong. Everything going on. I shouldn't have reacted. I shouldn't have. But I'm like, hey, we got to deal with it, and I done got, so I've not had to, seek any medical attention for it, because it's just been going on so much. I kind of like accepted it as being normal.
Being normal, like that's the normal.
Right.
By me,
just dealing with it, right.
It just happens. But now that like, again, this new discovery, you can figure it out, and get it all the way together. But that's just basically me, and I'm all for therapy, and I that's including, because I do vent about it, because apparently for it to get there was an issue about something. So I still want to get it off my chest, given I do pray about it, but it's still like, sometimes it's still sitting there, and it's like, hey, I just need to say something, just you know, God drops nuggets in our spirit and, you know, speaks back to us, but it's just something I just needed to hear something. You know, you just want to vent. Sometimes you don't want nobody to tell you nothing good. You want to say all the opposite, but it's just like, okay, you know, just get it off your chest. So it's basically.
I have a question. How many of us will identify ourselves as maybe a perfectionist?
Oh, yeah. Like, gotta have it right. It gotta be right. Or look, I don't do it. It's not right.
It ain't right. Oh, now I can get it right. That's right.
I don't do it. It's not right. So
from what I've gathered, most people that are perfectionists, that always want everything just right, suffers with anxiety and panic attacks.
I can see that.
We always think we gotta do it. Can't nobody else do it but us. And what I've learned to is sometimes take back, know that I can't do everything, and I had to learn to have patience. It's not gonna get done right now today. And in the field that I work in, it's very demanding because I'm a rep for AT&T, and I handle business customers, and everybody wants it now, and they want today.
Right.
And they keep emailing you and calling you, Miss Owens, I need to get this up. So that doesn't help me. So now I've learned to ignore the email, let them leave a voicemail, and still work at my steady pace, and I get to you as you fall next in line. I'm not going all this trying to skip over this person to help and get that person out the way and then skip, and you can't ever. Then the other person getting further and further behind because somebody else done called ahead of them. It's like, no, I got to learn to just let myself be calm, stay steady at my steady pace, and let them know I will get to you. It may not be today. Give me 24 to 48 hours, but I will respond. Because it was just freaking me out. I was just getting too anxious and too upset, you know, trying to make sure I make everything happen for everybody, and you just can't do it all. You just cannot do it,
Janice.
And it's okay.
Janice. Something that Miss Bridget said kind of just popped in me. She said, trying to do it by yourself all the time. You're tired. You feel like you got to do everything by yourself. Like you said, a superwoman mentality. And sometimes I guess it's meant for you to, you know what I'm saying, sit back and rest and just let things be. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, as a I don't know how many of us on here are mothers. But you know, a mother's work is never done.
Never done.
It's never done.
Never.
And so you're constantly, even when your baby's asleep, you're checking on them while they sleep. You know, you're making sure the clothes are out. You're making sure the lunches have been made. You're making sure the doctor's appointment has been scheduled. You're making sure, you know, that you're trying to take care of yourself. You're trying to take care of your husband, or you're trying to take care of the bills. And you just running. You know what I'm saying? Until it's just too much. Because we all trying to handle ourselves. And like Ms. Bridget said, a lot of things are instant gratification. Want it now. You know, my husband said, you always want things done right now, right then. You know, and I mean, I hate that I'm like that. You know, I got to say, you know,
it don't take all day to do nothing.
It don't. But you know, men, you know, they got a different way of thinking than us. So, you know, it's just like, oh, okay. You know, I just wanted to piggyback on what Miss Bridget said. That was like stood out to me.
Okay, well, some ways when I feel like a little antsy or I feel like I'm losing control, because that's what it feels like I don't have a handle on it. Like, okay, I'm no longer running the show. Somebody else got the ups on me. So when I start feeling like that, I have to kind of like regroup and mind you that yes, I am real strong in my faith and I pray, but I love to listen to music. So I might get some DMX, some Tupac. I mean, I'm a
urban beats
person. I got to get my music going. I turn it up. You give me some music, I can clean the whole house in 1 hour. You give me the right type of music, something to vibe to. And then sometimes I just need to walk. I just need to sometimes just go for a walk. I always try to walk around the track. And Duck always say, go on a scenic route. Just go walk. Just take your walk.
Right.
Don't have a destination, just walk. Then sometimes, we got that bubble bath and that jazz music and all these candles and stuff.
Yes.
Glass of wine.
Gotta learn how to come back and relax. That's one thing, yeah. I ain't gonna say what else.
All right, Lord. All right now.
But we got, and the one thing about this pandemic, it's getting us back to ourselves. Well, we're taking, because I find myself taking better care of myself during this pandemic. It has really like slowed life down. And you kind of like, okay, I do need to work out a little bit, So even if I'm not doing a whole, what y'all exercise gurus do, what y'all be doing out there. Even if I do something that's gonna move my body and stimulate my brain, I'm moving. I put myself on a schedule, so I'm watching what I eat now. I ain't just eating all this crazy stuff like I would eat, and I'm not eating out as much, especially because it's just me. I'm eating out every day. I just gotta feed one person. So now I was like, no, I don't think I want to go eat out. No, I don't think so. So now during this pandemic, I am taking better care of myself, and this what really made me think about the anxiety and stuff, because I'm like, whoa, man, at work, when you stressed out at work, then you come home, you stressed out. And if you're in a relationship, super duper stressed out. Another whole segment. Then you got your kids. And then if you that family member that everybody leans on, I mean, like everybody calling you, cool. Auntie.
I know how that is,
You that strong person, they don't expect you to fall, or they don't expect you to be weak. They don't see weakness in you. And not saying that we are weak, but then sometimes we do need that hug. Are you okay? What do you need?
That's true.
Are you okay? It's okay. You're gonna be all right today, or that support from somebody. So yes, these panic attacks, this anxiety, we got to get a handle on this stuff. And you're not in it alone. I tell sisters all the time, you're not, God didn't build us to be in this alone. He didn't, we ain't.
That's right.
We ain't made like it. So
that's right.
We just got to know what to do, when we got to recognize it when we see it. Like you were saying, Vanessa, you just now realizing, hey, this is stuff I'm dealing with. So we gotta recognize it when we see it. And it's a feeling of condition, and it is like a sense of control, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, I don't know what to do, I'm not understanding why I'm feeling like this. And it is a mental health disorder. So we gotta take care of our mental health. We gotta take care of mental health, as well as our physical health, our bodies and stuff like that. We gotta take care of our minds. So this has been so good. Oh my goodness. I have really, and somebody has a question on the floor.
So just say it was some questions in the chat. We're going to answer some.
Oh yeah, it was some questions. It was a lot of questions in the chat, ladies. One of them, they wanted to know, is anxiety a feeling or a condition? So who wants to talk about that?
I think it's both.
You think it's both?
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. So it is a disorder. Anxiety is a disorder, and it is a feeling that you feel, because you're gonna feel it. When you have attacks, you're definitely gonna feel that feeling of worry, that feeling of nervousness, that feeling of fear, and a sense of losing control. So yes, it's definitely a feeling. Another question was, does anxiety come when you lose a sense of control? Which I think.
I can see that.
Yeah, because it kind of goes hand in hand. Because that's what you're feeling. You don't have a handle on anything. Your mind is racing, and you don't know what.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In that way. Yeah. Because you don't have a handle. Like I said, mine always feels. I mean, it feel like I be about to have a heart attack. So I'd be like, oh my God, am I finna die? I'd be like, my heart's beating that fast. And I even have my watch on, and it'll tell me my heart beat like sometimes like 90 something. And I mean, it's
Isn't
going
that the
fast.
scariest thing? When you have your
Yes.
Fitbit on and then you see that heart rate going up, then I get
Yes.
more scared. I'm like, oh Lord, Jesus. But then I try to close my eyes. Okay, Bridget, just breathe. So you get your breathing down, because when you know something, when you think something's about to happen, and then it's happening, then you and just like Genonne say, then you start feeling like, okay, the worst.
Yes.
So that just takes it to another level. It just keeps going. Like, oh.
I have been put out of dentistry because of my anxiety. They're like, we can't help you. We just can't help you. I'm like, golly. You know, it'll overcome you.
They had another question.
Will.
And
that was the answer.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's it. We did have a lot of ladies tuned in, so we're gonna leave them with this. If you could encourage anybody today that's listening, that's watching with us, when it comes to anxiety or panic attacks or dealing with all of this, what would you say to them?
Well,
I would say first, breathe.
Okay.
You gotta breathe. Take it slow.
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
You know, everything takes time. Even God took 7 days to create heaven and earth?
Yes, to create the earth.
So you just gotta take time and be patient. You gotta learn patience, because the stress of everything else that always is going on, if you don't know how to deal with the stress, then it's gonna be turned to anxiety and everything else. So you got to learn how to just cope with whatever it is you're dealing with. And like I said, you got to be able to talk to somebody. Like I said, listen to music. You take a hot shower, a nice bubble bag, get the aromatherapy bag, bring you some candles. You got to find time just to take time out for yourself, number one. Because if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of nobody else. And it's okay. And it's not selfish to take care of yourself. Because sometimes we do feel like, if I'm just doing for me, I'm selfish. No, you got to take care of yourself first, number one. You got to be a little selfish in that point, because if you fall apart, then everything else going to fall apart around you. And that's where the fear comes in. Oh, Lord, if I can't do it, what's going to happen now? Who gonna do it if I'm not there? It'll get done. Believe it. So that's the reality of it.
Before you do all that,
okay. Go, Vanessa, what would you say? Good, Bridge. That's good stuff.
No, I mean, Bridget got me. I'm just thinking, I got to get it back together now. We'll be back on track, Miss Janice. Come on now.
What would you say to the other sisters or other people, men? Because I know men, I really want to do this segment with men. I think it would be so interesting to do it. So what would you say to people that's actually in the same situation that you're in, that's just finding out or don't really know a lot about it, and they just finding out that, hey, I got some of these symptoms. These are some of the things I'm experiencing. I need to deal with this before it gets out of hand. Right. So what would you tell them? Like, what are they looking for?
I mean, again, like I said, I've just kind of accepted it. Well, I did. I'm not, as until, once I found out what it is, I'm going to address it. But accepting it as being normal, and it just being not an issue, which now I realize it is. So again, you have to realize something is the issue before you can really fix it, or at least, address it. So I would say again, like you have to sit back and reflect and think about it, because again, the feeling that it gives you is it's not a good feeling. It don't feel okay. So it's kind of not an easy thing to swallow, but recognizing that you have that issue. And again, as we speak on our mental health, it is a big deal, and it's okay. It's okay to go to therapy. We're all different. We all carry our weight, our book bags. We carry it different. Some people, might not need what other people need. Some people might need that medication. I would refuse it too, Miss Bridget. I'm rebuking it in the name of Jesus. But, some people might don't be that strong, and it's okay. It gets okay. We're all on different walks of life, you know, and things I can take, you might can't take, and things you can take, I cannot even deal with. So I mean, we have to, you know, be willing to accept help. But again, we have to first realize that it is an issue. You know,
right.
brushing it off and saying it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's not okay. You know, I would just say be more open to speaking up about it, not being ashamed, because you know it's not. Again, we're all different, but we all deal with the same thing, and you know it's mind baffling because you're like, I didn't know that. You know, you felt that same. Yes. You know, it's all common. We're all human. We're all human.
Yes, we're all human.
You know, same things going on. You know, so you just have to basically open up your mouth, say something, allow yourself to get it.
Yeah. Say something. I agree.
To say it's not okay.
Right.
That's right. Okay, go Genonne.
If I could reach out to someone, I guess, hold on, my earbud probably about to die. Let me see. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I guess the one thing, I guess, piggybacking on what Miss Bridgette and Miss Russell said, one thing is, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed of what you're feeling. Too embarrassed to come to someone and say, you know, I've had these feelings and I don't know what they are. You know, trying to figure out what they are, acknowledging them. You know, have you someone you can confide in and you can talk to about what's going on with you. You know, because like Miss Russell said, we all have feelings and we go through things. And like you said, the first thing is to acknowledge it. You know, being able to understand, hey, I'm not crazy. It is a condition, but it's not like, you know, it's like you got to be, you know, in a straight jacket or something like that. It's a feeling that you have of your body that you can't control. Learn mechanisms, different techniques to deal with it. You know, whether like even Ms. Janice said, taking a scenic walk, taking a bubble bath, listening to praise music. You know, sometimes I guess it's getting back to focus on you, getting your breathing done. And like Ms. Bridgette said, you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of someone else. So I guess putting the focus on you so that you can get calm, because you know, once I get calm, I'm fine. It's that moment where I'm just, you know, I'm ranting and I just don't know, and I feel myself like a boost of energy, and I just want to run, and my chest is feeling uncomfortable. You know, being able to say, you know what, something's going on with me. Seeking therapy, you know, it's not a bad thing. You know, talking to someone about your feelings doesn't mean you're crazy, doesn't mean something's wrong with you. But guess what? Hey, I need to talk to somebody because I'm not understanding what's going on with me. You know, it's nothing wrong with getting therapy. Just if I could tell somebody something, talk about it. You know, ask your mom, has she ever experienced these things? You know, is it generational? Or, you know, it may not be generational, but just talking about it so that you're not sitting somewhere alone and feeling, you know, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to, you know, kind of, you know, go here by myself, you know. So, you know, just being able to discuss it and say, you know, I need some help with this situation.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so good. So now we've opened the platform. We put it out there. So ladies, if you're watching, if you're listening, just know you're not in it by yourself. You're not the only one going through it. We are all in different walks of our lives. Genonne and Vanessa is married. Bridgette, you married?
Single.
Oh, okay.
Happily.
Bridgette,
I should say divorced. Happily divorced.
Happily divorced. So we're all at different ways. Bridgette and I have grandkids, and Genonne and Vanessa, they still got little kids running around the house. So we're all in different walks in our life, and we still have some of the same things in common when it comes to anxiety and panic attacks. But we do know that this is not it. You know, it don't win. We're not giving in to it, and we're trying to spread the knowledge and to let you guys know that, hey, if you feel like you need to see a therapist, do not let nobody tell you Black people don't see therapists. That ain't what we do. Blah blah blah. You don't have to go drinking. You don't have to be doing drugs. You don't have to do none of that stuff to get healthy in your mental health. So
yes,
I want to thank everybody who tuned in. with us for Live It Out Inc. This was good. This was this was awesome, ladies. I love all of you to death. Thank you so much.
Love you too. Thank you.
I was like, Genonne, I need you to blah, blah, blah. I said, Vanessa, call me if you can talk. I said, Bridgette, call me when you get this message. So I thank you so much for tuning in.
You're welcome.
Don't forget, we're on Facebook.
Thank you.
Instagram and YouTube, and Duck is the founder, the president. Duck, this is her platform, and we're gonna move it on along. We're gonna help the little queen out. So now she got 4 more queens behind her. We'll see what it's go, guys. We'll see.
All right. Awesome. I'm so proud of her.
So much. Oh my goodness. Tell the family and everybody I said hey. Vanessa, tell everybody I said hey. Bridgette, tell everybody I said hey. Genonne,
I will. I can't wait to see my doodlebug. No, I can't see him yet. He's 9 years old now. He's down in Augusta. So, that's my heart, my grandson. I have 3 grown sons, y'all. 20, 21, 24, and 33.
And you look good, Queen.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
Black don't crack. Black don't crack.
Black don't crack, girl. That's doing that moisturizer treatment now that I'm on this quarantine. You're taking better care of yourself.
We taking better care of ourselves.
I hear you.
We taking better care of ourselves. So until next time, ladies, from Live It Out Inc. Mwah. See y'all later.
Love, peace, and hair grease. Y'all be good. Bye.
Bye.
Doug, how you come and lead the meeting, Doug?